Happy Sunday, everybody. So it's my 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon Facebook Live that I promised you. And what I'm going to be showing you today is how to stamp with your pigment sprinkles so that you can get this gorgeous watercolor effect. And the colors that they added to the pigment sprinkles this year, oh my goodness, I love them so much. It takes the stress out of doing a watercolor image when you stamp with them. You have a little bit more control over where the water goes and where your color goes, and I just love it, and I'm so excited to show you this. So, who am I? Actually, give me just a second to go over here and make sure that this video is being shared. Videos, Stampin' Up. Hey, if you can hear me, if you are listening, would you just click the wow button so that I know that you're hearing me and everything is going right now? Share. Awesome. Okay. Sorry, I'm losing ya. This is still very, very new to me. Okay, so let's continue. All right, I see some people watching. Hey, if you're watching, would you tell me where you're watching from? What city, what state, what region? Anything you want to tell me. Let's find out where people are watching from. All right, so I am using the exact same stamp set that I used the last time I did a Facebook Live. It's that Pop of Petals. I'm sorry that I'm showing it to you again, but it was just so perfect for this technique. And I'm also using the To a Wild Rose stamp set, which is what I'm going to do my product class with in August. So the greeting that we're going to be using for this card is that blessed, which I just love. And after I choose who I'm going to send this to, I will put in there, blessed to be your friend, or blessed and grateful to know you. Any of those other greetings that go with this stamp set. I love this To a Wild Rose stamp set. We're also going to be using the new Fluid 100 watercolor paper. I'm doing a card base with with Whisper White thick cardstock, and then I'm doing this extra little layer in also Whisper White. So I'm gonna set that aside, grab my watercolor paper, and then I just want to tell you about some super exciting things that are happening. Oh, another card made out of Pop of Petals, kind of a monochromatic. I love this new in color ribbon this year. So the colors on here are terracotta tile and petal pink. So let me set that aside. And let's see, what else did I want to tell you? Oh yeah, I want to tell you that in July we have bonus days, and when you spend $50 in July, then you get a $5 coupon in August, and I will be posting how to use those coupons in August. If you earn those, you do have to spend all the way up to 50, kind of like the same way Kohl's does it, but if you spend 100, then you do get 2 of the $5 coupons. Also, if you sign up to be a demonstrator this month, then you're going to get an extra amount of product with your $99 sign-up fee. Now, when you pay $99 to become a demonstrator, you don't have to stay a demonstrator, you don't have to sell, you can continue to buy at a discount if you would like, or not. It doesn't really matter. But this month, if you spend $99, then you're going to get $155 worth of product in your $99 kit, and you get to choose exactly what you want in that kit for $99. So that's a fabulous deal. Even if you just have a really long list and you want to spend $99, you get $155. Awesome deal. Then, other thing I wanted to tell you about was the paper pumpkin. So it's too late to sign up for July's paper pumpkin and get the free info or free stuff that I give my customers, but you can now sign up for the August paper pumpkin and in August. So this is a sneak peek of what you're getting, and it looks like this month is going to be treat bags, but with the treat bags and the stamp set and the ink color that you get and all the embellishments, I'm going to be showing you, if you're local, you get to come to a class showing you ways to use your kit in other projects, and Stampin' Up is supporting that idea and selling for only $10 this add-on bundle to the paper pumpkin. So if you sign up for Paper Pumpkin and then you want to add this 24 card bases with 2 different designs and the coordinating envelopes for only $10. I think that is a super fabulous deal. So that is Paper Pumpkin. You go to paperpumpkin.com and choose me as your demonstrator. So let's get started with this gorgeous card. So the way I'm going to start today is by using this. I meant to get out the package so I would remember what these are called, but it's a stencil, and this is Bermuda Bay because Bermuda Bay ink coordinates with the that light is kind of bothersome, isn't it? I guess I'm gonna have to figure out a solution for that. Coordinates with the pigment sprinkles that we're going to be using. So I am going to ink up my sponge dauber and just sponge this around on the background, but I am not concerned about getting it all over. As a matter of fact, I don't really want it all over. And there, that looks great, and I love the variation that I have there with that. So I am done with that ink. Let's set that aside. And then I also just wanted to take a second and show you that these little leaves that I punched out are from the Wild Rose die set that coordinates with the To a Wild Rose. And if you do die cutting, detailed die cutting, this tool is really something you want to have, because when you die cut this, there's all those little pieces, and depending on which die you're using, you could get lots and lots of those little tiny pieces. But this just really helps get those pieces out. Now, if I kept rubbing with that, I could get that leaf to pop out too. But I am going to show you another wonderful tool. It's called the Take a Pick tool, and in this end, it has a spatula, and then it also has this needle point. So I'm going to twist that on because I'm going to probably use that more often than that spatula. And then just give it a little poke, a gentle poke to get that paper to pop out of that die. And there we go. So I cut 4 of those little leaves. So fabulous tool. So this now, when you order this, it doesn't come on this handle. You'll actually, if you want a handle for it, you'll need to have the Take a Pick tool. This will unscrew, this end will unscrew, and I'll be showing you later how I'm going to use that with the sequins. Okay, so back to our card, and I am ready now to show you how I'm going to do my stamping with pigment sprinkles. So if you are not familiar with pigment sprinkles, the last year when we sold them, you got 5 in the package, and they weren't coordinating colors with Stampin' Up. So these colors are actually coordinated with our colors. So that one is Melon Mambo. And the way I do these is I just sprinkle a little bit on an acrylic block and then use that acrylic block as my palette. So let me show you another thing that's super fabulous about these. I'm going to get my paper out of the way so I don't get ink on there. It has this little lid on the inside, and you lift that up, and now the holes are already there for you. So you can just sprinkle a few drops of the powder, close that up, put the lid back on, and I think I have enough of all of my other colors there. So it comes with Melon Mambo and Granny Apple Green, and that was the same color that I used of the paper. Daffodil Delight. I think this one is Gorgeous Grape. Yep. This one is, I believe, Bermuda Bay. And Mango Melody. Just quickly becoming one of my favorite colors. Okay, so here's my palette, and now what I'm going to be doing is taking that stamp, this one that looks kind of watercolory anyway, which I've already prepared. And if you didn't see my video on how to prepare these for stamping so that when you punch them out, it is very easy to do with your punch, you'll want to take a look at that video. It was on the other Pop of Petals video. Okay, so I have my paper ready, I have my stamp ready, and here's my mark that shows me I want to have that part of the image at the bottom so that when I try to punch it out with the punch, it will come out or I won't be able to line it up perfectly. So now I'm going to take one of my aqua painters and I'm going to get some of this Mango Melody wet, powder wet, and I'm just going to paint the pigment sprinkles right on my stamp. Isn't that cool? I do want to be generous, especially the first time because my stamp is dry. And here we go. I simply stamp with it. Isn't that cool? Beautiful image. I love it. Love, love, love. All right, so I'm going to do 2 in each color. I think that will be enough pigment sprinkles there for one more flower. I don't clean it off. I just go straight to adding more ink. Actually, pigment. There, this one's going to be a little juicier. See how I've got a little more water on there? And let's see how this one comes out. Give it a moment to sink into the paper. Oh yeah, when that dries, I'm going to get some nice watercolor effect there. Okay, so I am just going to brush off my aqua painter on some paper towels and go ahead and clean that off. I should have something else to clean my stamp, but since it's just the pigment sprinkles, this should work just fine stamping that off, okay? And if it doesn't, then I'm creating some new colors and I don't have a problem with that. So dipping my aqua painter and squeezing out a little bit of water, getting some Melon Mambo paint prepared and onto my stamp, making sure I'm getting it all over the whole thing and stamping that. I used 2 colors. Oh, I like that. I used 2 colors or 2 flowers of each of the 3 colors that I chose. Nice. Okay, I'm going to clean off my brush. I think I'm off camera for this. And I'm going to grab my cleaner, stamp cleaner, over here. This should make it a little easier. There we go. Okay. And my third color then is that Bermuda Bay. And just to make sure that well, I suppose it doesn't matter if I mess up the color on here. Yeah, see, I had a little bit of Melon Mambo left in there. You can see a little tiny bit of purple, but I do not have a problem with that. That is one of the lovely features of watercolor, is that color variation. Nice. Ooh, pretty. Okay. So I'm just going to I'm going to get the color out of my aqua painter, set that aside, clean that later, move my palette, because I am done with that stamping. Well, no, I'm not. I lied. I'm not done with that stamping. I am going to do those flower centers, but I'm going to do the flower centers after I punch these out. So how many of you like the watercoloring effect in your card making? Can you give me a thumbs up if you are a fan of watercolor techniques? And there we go. Now you're probably wondering, why is she not doing her flower centers? Well, I have a trick for doing those flower centers that makes it a whole lot easier. I think you're gonna love. All right, so I'm done with all of those. Let's do our flower centers now. I do need to clean that stamp off good because I got a lot of Bermuda Bay on there. And I see somebody is watching who knew my mom. see. There's her name. I'm using her thing. Hearts, hearts. If you knew my mom, give me a heart. Alrighty. So set that aside. And how I'm going to do my center now is actually the same kind of thing that I was doing before. I'm just going to stamp those, okay? So I do need to figure out how this lines up with the stamp. It looks like that's it right there. So I'm going to use the, I think I will use the Mambo. And so I'm going to combine these two colors, the Mango Melody and Melon Mambo. And I'm just painting the center of my flower there. And because that has been punched out, that's not it. Is that it? No, that's not it. And last one's a charm. I can see exactly where to stamp that. There we go. My sweet little flower center. So I think I might want a little more liquid. So I'm going to squeeze out a little more water onto my palette. And again, painting that flower center. Line it up. There, that's a larger flower center. Is that the way it lines up? Yep. Okay. Let's see if I can quickly go through these flower centers. Nice. I like it. Yep. There it is. Okay. There. So has anybody already taken advantage of that bonus days and gotten your $5 coupon yet? If you have, give me a thumbs up so I know that you have been able to. See, that looks kind of brownish on the Bermuda Bay, but we all know that not all flower centers are the same color, right? Okay. So what do you think of this technique so far? Are you loving it? I love the way you can get that gorgeous watercolor technique, but without kind of the mess of watercoloring, like when you have to kind of come up with it yourself. All right, so what I'm not going to do in this video, which I should, but I forgot to get the embossing folder out, is I'm not going to do this embossing that I did on this background. Okay, see how I use that? Oh, I can't even remember the name of the embossing folder, but I will put it on the link when I upload this video. So notice how my flowers came out slightly differently. So I had a lot more color on the flowers that I did for you in the video than I do on my card, but that is the beauty of watercolor. So I am going to just work on this, and then I'll be adding the whole thing to my card base. So just putting these in place, kind of tossing them on there, and then this here and that there. Oh, nice. Now I'm ready to start positioning my leaves. There we go, like that. And up here, this one down here. So pretty. Now for this one over here, I think I'm going to do the same thing I did on my original card, and that is cut my leaves apart. So grabbing my snips, paper snips, I will put these two over here. Nice. And this one up here. I like it. Okay. Now for the blessed sentiment, I have already embossed this. I've used Whisper White embossing craft ink and Whisper White powder, embossing powder, and I stamped it on Bermuda Bay. I am not going to make you watch me do that, and I'm actually not going to make you watch me do all of this cutting either, but it does go pretty smooth, and I did want to just introduce you to cutting words out, or fussy cutting in general. Notice how I'm just kind of moving my paper around, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you use these paper snips, you're going to have a lot of control for these little tiny places that you're trying to get into. So if you don't have a pair of paper snips, I definitely consider these to be one of the stamping essentials for cutting. Most people have a separate pair that they will use for ribbon, which I do not, and I need to. So if anybody can recommend a really good pair of scissors, I would love to find that out in your, go ahead and leave me those recommendations in your comments. I believe that the paper snips would work, but I've just noticed by watching other people that they have great success cutting their ribbon nice and smooth when they're using a larger pair of scissors. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell a larger pair of scissors anymore, so I am willing to hear what you have to say about scissors. So I'm hoping that somewhere along the line, Lisa, my quilting friend Lisa, you know who you are, if she could recommend scissors for me, I think that she would be an awesome one to do so. All right, so I am not going to finish cutting that. You get the idea, but that is going to be placed right here in the center of the card. And then to finish the card, I have added some sequins, the Woven Threads sequins assortment. And these colors are the in colors, so that's actually pretty peacock, but it just coordinates so beautifully with the Bermuda Bay that okay, so here's the take your pick tool. This is just like this little gummy thing at the end, and if it gets all dirty and nasty, then you just twist this around and you can get more of it out, and it lasts a long time. I used to sell another brand of this in a scrapbooking store many years ago, and I actually have never replaced the putty in mine. So I'm just going to use that, and I will be using my mono liquid adhesive glue to glue those in. I like to get them all positioned first, so I'm going to pick out this little pink one, Rococo Rose, and I'm going to use several different colors and several different sizes. Let me get that small little white one. It's probably actually has a color, and just kind of building those up around on the card. So here is the original that I showed you at the beginning of the video. So tell me, which one of these do you like the best? Do you like the original, or do you like the new one with the darker colors? And if you were doing this yourself, would you try to go for the deep dark color, or would you go for the more pastel look that I got on, or that I did in the original? I have had so much fun showing this card to you, and I hope that you'll take advantage of what's going on bonus days today, or bonus days this month. And also, if you're interested in signing up to become a demonstrator, or at least taking advantage of that kit, then please let me know. And I do look at Facebook often, so if you have any questions about this card, oh, I forgot, I have a giveaway. So here's the giveaway. If you leave me a comment by the end of the day tomorrow, if you've watched it live, that counts. And if you are watching this later on the archived version, I am going to be giving away I'm going to be using the random name selector, and I'm going to be giving away this set of clear faceted gems, the entire package. These are so much fun, very dramatic accent to your cards. Very fun to use, and because they're clear, they coordinate with all your colors. All right, so let me know, which one did you like best? The original or the second one with the deeper, darker colors? Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again next Sunday, but tune in during the week to see if that's coming and what I'm going to be showing on Facebook Live. Thanks so much for watching. Love to hear from you.